Hello and welcome to the last of our sessions of Hearts of Wulin. Uh, I haven't said this aloud on the channel, but this is the title of the series from the start has been three mountains, one heart. So that has been in the cards from the beginning. Uh, we are here with our PCs gathered together. We have a fox spirit who has escaped. We have a villain who is out in disguise. We have a dragon in a bottle. There are lots of things out on the table. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. And this session is part of the Open Hearth Gaming Calendar. Of course, this is Hearts of Wulin. You can, if you've enjoyed this, I suspect anyone who's listening to this has probably already picked it up. But Hearts of Wulin and a supplement for Hearts of Wulin Worlds and Numberless Secrets are on DriveThruRPG and on itch.io. So you can pick those PDFs up if you haven't already. So they are there. Um, or you can subscribe to the channel. I rarely say that, but sometimes people do. So there we go. So last time, Chalu barely escaped with his life from this attack. Was brought through the intervention of flickering breath to allies, Ming, Heartless, and Song, and the poison was healed from his body. But I think we do start out with that vision, and there is a mountain. What is the mountain, Chaolu, that Dancer of Lost is kind of pinned down by, trapped beneath? What does that look like?
In my head it was just like big fancy mountain, but to give it a little bit more detail, um I think there's a flat face on it. It slopes up gradually to one side, but the other looks like it was just sheared off um by either a god tier sword or something significant. And there in the cliffs there are um temples have been built, carvings in the walls. There are windows and man-made protrusions and waterfalls coming out of the side, almost as if the mountain itself was bleeding in a way. um and so at the base of the mountain, actually, I think in this case it's almost as though a mountain was cut in two, and there's a valley that's just a gouge in between them. And in this valley, where all the water falls into, there's mists and rainbows and uh, herons flying up from the trees that grow now in the mossy under bottom of the valley there.
And I think we'll see you kind of walking forward, maybe uncertainly, before you come to the place where you see Dancer of Loss seated there. Uh, there is sort of the after image of a crystal around her, uh, kind of the representation of her being kind of kept there. And she will say, "Poor Chalu, poor Chalu, you're so close to the other side here."
I'm I'm sorry. She was I encountered Peerless Zhelan and she was too fast. I don't know how to stop her.
You must understand that she is, for all of her powers, a mortal, a person, and she has borrowed the powers that she has. It's not only the foxtail that she has stolen, she has taken other spirits and things and bound them to her.
We nod and sit down. I imagine Dancer of Loss is like sitting on just like the perfect rock outcropping in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
a like a little lake.
Yes.
And so there's another little similar seat either like at the edge of the lake, and that's where we, sit down for meditation with her. And I'm sorry I'm no closer to freeing you either.
You will be. You will be.
These mortals and their petty causes, always so distracting.
You have a petty cause in Peerless Zhelan as well.
Yes. Yes, I suppose I do. And I've let that distract myself from my training with you. And for that I apologize. I've been a terrible student.
I have been a problematic teacher. I have been here for so long, and I have seen a world that was not the world that I knew from before. And I have to thank you for showing me that, for allowing me to see out there. So let us think together what what I can show you, what I can gift you as a way to fight Peerless Zhelan. And what do you think the montage is that we see there in that dream for that new technique move?
I think we see the water candle technique is foundational. Everything in Lu's fighting style is built off of that. And I think we see uh around Lu, we see those two little blue willow wisps, those two burning floating blue fireballs, one over each shoulder. But as the camera kind of pans back over to Dancer of Loss, she is still sitting entirely unmoving, very courtly, very regal. And even though she appears human, nine fireballs appear over the tips of where her tails would be. And in fact, there's this sort of suggestion of if she had tails, if you could see them, they would just kind of be like waving little bits behind her. Um, and the technique that she's going to try and teach him is about how to temporarily trade places with one of those fireballs, so that in part of the traditional fox spirit trickery, somebody goes to strike what looks like Lu, or when Lu is trying to strike Dancer of Loss in this montage. um Turns out he's been trying to strike one of the little water candles, and she's behind him. And uh, what we see is it's clumsy. Lu trying to figure this out. We see when he tries to trade positions with one of the fireballs, there are little like motion lines behind him as the two sort of merge and mix, and it's clumsy, and he's trying to get it, but it's slow coming. He keeps getting distracted.
Let's have you roll new technique. You have
Sure.
seen her fight once, you fought her once, so roll with a +1.
2d6 plus 1. Here we go. That is a 9.
That is a 9. Do you wish to spend a bond to take that to a 10?
Yes. I will I just got it, but given Flickering Breath's proximity to Peerless Zhelan, and also just kind of drawing on, she's a monster hunter, and also the romantic entanglement there. So yeah, we're gonna go and burn that, and bump that up to a 10.
Absolutely. And I think that like we'll see you the repeated efforts of that, and then what is the moment that we see that you clinch it, that like we see that you've got it?
Um, we see Dancer of Loss, and she doesn't have to attack by moving. She can just send her little water candles at him. But and she does so. She shoots a water candle out over the lake, and it passes right through. It looks like it should punch right through Chao Lu. And then we see Chao Lu standing where one of his other water candles was. And like he just looks back at this frozen crystalline, this sort of like misty after image of his own silhouette. And uh and he looks back at Dancer of Loss, and she is probably enigmatic and sphinx like, but Chao Lu is grinning wildly.
I think we'll see the mists come across you in that scene. Let's come back to this in we can see Flickering Breath kind of with the cloth, beating the sweat off of Chaolu's forehead. Ming song, Heartless, um, uh, uh, song, Tian still playing in the background. That song that we heard before. Heartless, what is it that you want to do? What is it you want to say to your companions? What is it you want to undertake here?
Uh, well, um, I think that she turns to Flickering Breath and says, I presume that we will have to strike at this Peerless Zhelan to keep her from following Chawu.
If she is here, from what I have seen, if she attacked Chow, uh, uh, I I fear that she has a more sinister purpose, that it may be her hand that's through my brother set me to the task of doing what I did to the dragon. Uh, that there is a purpose here. I thought it was simply the restoration of our clan, but there must be something more.
Let's deal with it one step at a time then. And she sort of turns to Ming. Will you help me protect Chawu?
Yes, of course, with my life.
You are stalwart, Ming. Always stalwart. And she says, Samtian, will you assist?
Of course. Chao Lu has been a dear friend to me. We must protect him from this villain.
All right, then. And I will turn to her and say, you have 3 upright associates who can assist you in this moment. And soon, and she sort of pats the paper, the rice paper that sort of spread across him. And there is that thing of, she originally drew like peach blossoms on it. But those have now been sort of covered with curlicues. And she looks at that and furrows her brow, but she doesn't say anything. She goes, the poison should be drawn out soon.
Do you want to draw them out here?
The
While
poison?
no, the poison has been drawn out up there. That has that Chaolu is recovering. I thought you were speaking of the other thing that you have
Oh,
stored
no.
away.
Oh, no. No, I think that what it was is she had used peach blossoms to have a how should you say, a sympathetic tie to Chaolu, but Chaolu answered with a different sympathetic tie, if that makes any sense, without realizing
Absolutely.
it. So, and that's fine. Us.
Yeah,
So,
then I do think that we see Chaolu come back to consciousness.
okay.
And we'll sit up and see all of our friends sitting around us, and just like a heartwarming smile. I'm so happy to see you all.
I'm glad that you are awake. How do you feel?
Strangely rested. I feel full of vim and vigor, and I was poisoned, but I don't feel. Tap our body and look down at the blotted papers with the curlicues, and you must have used a technique. I'm sorry to have been an inconvenience to anyone.
It's always a boon to be able to use my skills for good. So do not apologize. However, do you think that you can get up?
We'll turn and sit up, and we do still have a little bit of chi imbalances. We have a couple elements marked.
Mhm.
So yes, I can stand, and I'm not a very strong fighter, but I imagine if it came to that, I could probably defend myself meekly.
All
And
right.
like Empress says, I will defend you.
Blush, just we're gonna look away, and so
Okay.
are not gonna let the red look. We're gonna find something convenient to look at the far wall and say, yes, thank you. I'm in much need of defense.
Ming, what do you say? How do you react to this?
I feel like I try to like interpose myself into this and say like I will also do whatever is necessary to defend you, Chaolu.
Well, I'm surrounded by I feel like I don't deserve this much uh this much care, but I'm truly thankful for all of you. Um
If you have been poisoned, you should have some gruel. So, and I will go and get him a bowl of gruel. Essentially, you have to eat that so that it absorbs any of the poison that is still in your system.
Song, what do we see you doing?
Can I do that as a comfort and support?
Oh
But
yeah,
as
absolutely.
much as like,
Sure,
you know,
sure.
essentially that's,
Yeah.
it
Let's
is.
let's do that, and then I want to come to Song.
All right, sorry. So 2d6 plus 2. There we go. 9.
So there's a 9. So Chow may clear an element if you wish.
I would love to clear elements using water. Water feeds wood, so I will go ahead and clear.
Okay.
Even though metal would be the more apt, but I think wood makes the more sense here.
Song, your playing has allowed the escape of that fox spirit. Your friend Chaolu is back and up, and you've seen perhaps a more charitable side to Heartless than you have in, to your imaginings in the past. So what do you want to do?
I did notice that that Chaolu looked away at that moment, with flickering breath. And I think Song subtly changes his, or maybe not so subtly changes his tune, to play a more soothing kind of, because before he was playing a very melancholy tune about the loss of love, and now he's changing the tune somewhat, and the chord progressions to make it a more soothing, quieting song for Chao Lu. I was going to do Comfort and Support, but Comfort and Support was already done, so we can just leave that narratively. And what else does Song do then? I think he maybe reaches out to Chao Lu when the song comes to a close and says, my friend, I was deeply worried that you would not recover.
I wasn't certain there myself either. I've only heard the legends, of course, of Peerless Zhelan and her capability in combat, but to imagine that she was here all this time, truly, we are cursed by fate, it seems.
I couldn't help but notice that you were muttering in your delirium. Did you have visions?
Oh
From
no,
the
what
poison?
did I mutter? Did I?
Oh, nothing comprehensible. But it seemed like you were having a dream.
Oh, I was. It was but it was one of those incomprehensible dreams, lots of running through dark forests and mists, and I think there was a weird tiger somewhere involved, but I'm not quite certain. Just a dark force, very, very dark, very scary. I would not recommend this dream.
The poison of Peerless Zhelan must have been
Oh, it
quite
afflicts the
potent.
mind as well as the body, certainly. She was trying to play on my fears, undoubtedly.
Which fears were those, Chao Lu? You seem so self-assured always. I
Of
envy
course,
you.
it's just an act. I'm just as needing of attention, and I crave admiration just like any other warm-blooded being.
Yes, you are warm. That I've seen, Chao Lu. And he squeezes your shoulder. Says, now eat some more of Heartless's porridge.
Of
Good
course.
for you.
Yes, Heartless always knows best.
Yeah, Daming will interpose himself again and also squeeze his shoulder and say, I also admire you, Chaolu.
Quick and breathless say that my fear is this. I hate to bring such thoughts to this difficult situation, but if my grandmother, if Peerless Zhelan is here and has a scheme, then I can only imagine that the vanishing of the dragon is part of that. She set my brother and I to capturing it, and I can only imagine that it going missing can only be for the worse. That that must be part of what she aims for here.
So if we were to make sure that she did not have absolute control over the dragon, then everything would be, how do you say, it would be a part of the scheme that she could not take advantage of.
She says, well, she cannot take control of because, and she will reach into her pocket and she pulls out, I have, oh no. This is not, this, and she'll hold up the fake heart that you made.
Mhm.
My
And I'll
grandmother
say,
has switched. This I no longer. Uh, uh, and she looks ready to break down in tears. She has failed again.
and she goes, may I see that?
She'll hand it to you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you needn't apologize. It was traded places, right? So that means that it still has, how do you say this? They have a tie together. We can use that to find the real one.
All right.
I will go and see a seer.
Okay.
Don't worry. I will leave.
I will go with her to help her with this ritual, whatever she needs to do.
If you wish.
Oh no, I definitely want to stay here and comfort flickering breath, but I know where the real heart is. Oh,
Let's have you make that roll for heartless there. The study roll.
Oh, it's actually I did.
If when you
It's
say
a
the word
roll.
study, I think you're
When you say
making
the
a
word study,
move.
that
Now, mind you, the player will get to choose the autonomy on that. But if you want to make a roll to kind of maybe see what you might figure out, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I think because Song already knows that she has the dragon somehow.
Yes.
But he doesn't know exactly how. I don't think. So I'm wondering whether if it's going to be a study move. Would this be appropriate for my Eerie Moon and Evil Star move, or should I just make a regular study?
I think regular study, because I think you're trying to
Yeah.
read Heartless, like her behavior.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I think, and I'll maybe use Earth for focus.
Okay.
All right. And so that's an 8.
That is an 8. So what is it you like? Let's have you talk with Heartless here. What is it you want to perceive, figure out here?
So it's just one question, right? On
Yeah.
a result. Yeah. I think I'm trying to figure out because I know Heartless is lying at the moment about not knowing where the heart is. So I'm trying to figure out, yeah, where the dragon is, and I know it's in some kind of vessel of some sort. So is it on her person? Is it hidden somewhere? Is it, yeah? Because I have my thief in the sidelines waiting.
A Heartless, do you think it's fair for Song to maybe pick up that I mean, you might touch the scroll that you have it on or something? Does that seem fair to you? Or maybe just that they know
I'm
you
not
have it on your person?
that forward about the only person that I've spoken of my scrolls or things of storing something is the Chaolu.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, he knows I somehow have the dragon contained, but I don't. That's interesting.
Or maybe it's something about the heart. I don't know. Yeah.
So,
Now you have the heart on you, right, Heartless?
I have both the heart
Okay.
and the dragon, and they are.
Song, would it be okay for the answer to be that you realize that in fact Heartless has the heart and is essentially is probably going to do the swap to assuage Flickering Breath's upset? Does that seem like a fair for you to kind of realize that's the game that's going on? Does that feel fair to you, Heartless?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll assume that Heartless Chow will step away. We'll come back to you two in just a second here. But Ming, what are you doing? Now you know that there is a horrible threat. You know that there is a fox spirit out there. You know that there is this enemy. Uh, uh, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow Xiao Lu to protect him from this new threat. I think I would also like to make a study roll to try to put together some of this that I think my Daming is not fully put together yet. I think maybe yeah, the relationship between these fox spirits and whatever else is going on.
Okay. Well,
I'm having thunderstorms here, which I think
yeah,
is affecting my internet.
I was wondering about that. Well, let's have you make a study roll, and then I'll ask like what the pose is for you following Chao Lu.
Yeah, sounds good. So I'm gonna roll with probably with water.
Okay.
And oh that is a 6.
Do you wish to burn a bond?
I might spend a bond here. I'll spend a bond with Jiaolu
Okay.
to raise that to a 7.
So what is it you want to know from having watched all of this go on, from having put all this together? What is it that you think Daming needs to know or and can figure out here?
I think I mean I think in this case what is Flickering Breath's motivation
Okay,
in
like reading her for
yeah,
her intent.
what is what is she trying to accomplish?
She is genuinely upset. Uh, she genuinely feels betrayed by her grandmother, who she was always a bit suspicious of, but her brother, clearly, who was with her on this, she clearly regrets having been part of this whole dragon seduction. Uh, and she doesn't feel worthy of someone like Chao Lu.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to find a way to demonstrate to him that she is worthy.
Oh, that's good.
As risky and as dangerous as that might be for a wuxia to feel that way.
Yeah. I might have to roll
Inner conflict.
yeah. Because I was gonna say I was gonna help her, but so yeah, let me I mean I think that's the smart thing,
Sure.
but
Let's have you roll inner conflict.
yeah.
What do you want
Yeah,
to roll
maybe with
that
water
with?
again, wisdom.
Absolutely. Ooh.
Yeah, those good rolls from last time are not holding up.
Nope, they're gone.
So unless you want to spend two bonds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I even have 2 bonds that make sense to spend right here.
So mark water, and I think that as you come in, as you kind of are standing up, maybe to follow Chao Lu and Heartless, who have stepped out, you will see Xiao Ming is there again, has arrived, and he will say, Ming, you must come with me.
Why? What's happened?
Master Iron, please come with me.
Uh, um, all right. I'll please, Flickering Breath, be careful.
I will. Thank you.
And I will
I
go
will
with
stay
Xiaoming.
here. I will stay close to Song Ming.
Yes, please.
And Xiaoming will come and will say, "You must come with me. Something has happened to Master Iron."
Yeah. Yeah, let's hurry. Where is he?
And he will lead you towards Master Iron. We'll come back to
Yeah.
that in a moment. Let's cut to Chalu and Heartless a block away from the inn.
Okay. We've not gotten very far then, so.
So, like, where are you going? What are you doing?
So I'm with Chow Lu,
Yes.
who saw all of these things kind of go down. And I'm like, are you sure you're feeling okay?
Yes, whatever that technique was, I'm quite energized actually, and also the gruel really helped. It was quite spicy.
Uh, and she goes, no. It is the one thing that ink is good at. It has soot, charcoal. They work against poison. So you were, no, I would not say you were fortunate to have been poisoned in my presence. It's that my presence was fortunate to you when you were poisoned. So there you go. She sort of steps and says, I do not particularly want to reveal the heart of the dragon, but unfortunately she knows what it looks like. It was acting very strange there. I'm worried that was not the dragon that I talked to previously, in the sense of he was out of his mind. You do know that Sangtian sort of carries inadvertent curses around with him.
I've sensed a certain air about him, yes, and I don't know enough about curses to know whether or not that's what it was, but I'll defer to your expertise on this matter.
It's the only thing I can think of. I've plucked my ears from his songs just because, should say, just to make sure that it's not as easy for him to affect me inadvertently. But was he there? Was his music playing at any point when we were interacting with the dragon? Can you recall?
I do recall music being played. It was quite sorrowful, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It felt like we were in a romantic fantasy novel.
Yes. Not exactly what you want with a very angry dragon. Okay. Um, well, that explains some things. Just don't know how I'm gonna get this all. Okay. Anyway,
Heartless.
yes.
You had rolled before a 7 to 9 when we
Mhm.
put the dragon in the thing.
Mhm.
And I think we will see you, I mean, do the swap, and you've got the dragon's heart there. And I think that just for the sake of checking, you will draw out the picture that Chowlu has seen that you made. And I think you'll just take a quick peek, and when you look at it, you will realize that there are two people in the picture now.
Who else is in there?
It looks like the same person, but they're there twice. One of them seems to be dressed in dark clothing, other one not.
Wait a minute. You're talking about the picture of the dragon, or
Yes.
this is the dragon himself or his heart?
This is the dragon that you put into that picture to hold him.
Right. Okay. So that's the thing. It's just, I was asking because I did the same thing with the heart. I hid the heart as well. So that's why I ask. So I have two separate dragons.
In one picture.
Given that I'm a little bit duplicitous with appearances, could I study this picture and see if there's anything supernatural going on, possibly illusory?
Sure. Let's have you make a study roll.
Sure. Water or wood here. Water is my style element. That would be really scary to put on the table. For
And
awareness
yet,
and wisdom, and yet I can always run in combat because of my move. So I think I'm going to risk my water.
Okay.
Let's see. Study with water +1. It's an
Oh
11.
yeah, you're fine. You're fine. So you've got 2 hold.
Oh, so I need to ask questions. That's right. Or I can, I guess, declare a detail.
And she looks at it, she goes, this has never happened to me before. Very odd.
Yeah. Let's see. Ask a question about a situation or a place.
And you
Ask a
can do
question about
one, and then if you want to add
person.
declare a detail afterwards, you can do that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I mean, I can't be so forward as to ask, is one of them fake, right?
I think that's actually a fair question, is what's going on with them. I think that would be a
Mhm.
fair thing.
Sure, then I will. Yeah. What is going on? Why is how did a second person appear?
I think you will look at the 2 figures that are there, and I think when you look at the one on, let's say, the left, in the lighter clothing, you'll hear the sound of the sky and the roaring, and the wind. And when you look at the one on the right in darker clothing, you will hear the song that Song Tian was playing.
I would actually like to go ahead and, if I may, spend my second hold and ask, to which one does the true heart belong? Regardless of whether or not it is the happier or sadder or angrier of them.
It belongs to both of them. Somehow the dragon has
Uh,
been split in 2.
huh. We will relay this information. Somehow, the dragon seems to have split in 2. They're the the stormy one, the angry one is this one, and the other, I can see the remnants of Song Qian's music on it.
The dark one?
Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
That is correct.
But you now have 1 heart for 2 dragons, although I suppose you technically do have 2 hearts. Just one of them is fake.
No, that's the dragons, not the hearts. Do I have 2 hearts, Lowell?
Well, you have a fake heart and you have the real heart.
Yes. I'm tempted to give this one to Song. Oh, he probably didn't do it on purpose, though. Well, I shall have to consult and figure out how I can separate them, but that's not for right now.
You need to release them.
I will, but not here, not surrounded by a bunch of monster hunters who would love nothing more than to get a swack in at an already injured dragon.
Yes, but it seems that they might be in some disarray. Who knows? I just don't like the idea of holding him in this pattern.
It's not for long term. I literally was going to walk out of town and away,
then
and
let's
then
go.
all of this stupid stuff is happening.
Then let us away. Let's go out of town and release him. But I want to be there in case this is dangerous. I can run very fast, remember?
I know. So you'll be safe. It's okay. Oh, she goes, if I messed up a dragon, though, I have to stay. So, that's a good idea. Why don't we will go and show the heart, and we will say and tell Flickering Dream that if she suspects that Peerless Zhelan is after us, that if we leave, we'll be able to isolate her.
I can go back and tell her that. If you want to continue this path to release the dragon, I will go back and tell Flickering Breath our intention.
Okay.
Song Tian, as you are there, as you are kind of waiting there with flickering breath, Dom Ming has headed out.
Mhm.
Uh, I think that you will see flickering breath. Do you want to do something? Did you want to? I just saw your note in the thing.
Either way, if you had something else, we can go with it. Yeah.
Uh, what I was going to say is you will see flickering breath there, kind of waiting anxiously, and then she looks tired, looks maybe a little overcome, a little exhausted, and you'll see her kind of nod off. And then you will see a head poke itself around the corner, and you will see Chow Yue,
Mhm.
and she looks and she says, "Thank you."
Of course, you came back. You are honorable. You keep your
Oh, please,
bargain.
please, please do not insult me. Um,
Well, you
I,
keep your bargains. How's
I,
that?
I do. Where, where is Chow Lu? Is he all right?
Yes, he is all right. He has been healed of the poison. He was poisoned by Peerless Zhelan,
Oh,
but
he is a namesake of mine. We are completely unrelated.
I'm sure, in name only, of course.
Exactly, exactly. So that's you understand why that would be my worry.
Yes.
Um,
The song "Believe This."
I don't know. I'll leave that to you. uh, so uh, it sounds like things are going to get very unpleasant here soon.
Yes, there are forces at work, but I have I have something you must do for me
All
before you
right.
flee. Are you leaving the city?
Cannot yet.
If you do this task for me, then you may leave. I know it is dangerous for you here now that you have been revealed, but you are a master of disguise, no doubt.
That I am. That I am. What is it you want me to do?
Heartless Dandan carries the heart of a dragon, and somehow she carries another object on herself that houses the dragon. I want you to steal them for me.
What is the object?
I do not know, but it must have something to do with writing. She's always writing things.
Uh, uh, oh, I don't know if I want to mess with the Celestial.
Oh, you know she is a celestial. I did not. I was going to tell you, but seems like you have already perceived it.
I was sitting here at breakfast. She sounded like a Celestial. She talked like a Celestial. She was talking to that other Celestial.
Yes. So many celestials here.
I know.
What are they all doing
That's
here?
not good when so many of them gather together.
Might not be good
And
for
that other one seemed odd. Like he wanted to take me away, and I didn't care for that. That seemed very strange to me.
No, you should stay free.
I know, but no, something was I did not care for him.
Will
I
you
could
help?
tell you saw it too.
I
They had
did.
the two had Heartless and the other one Moonsworn wrapped around his finger.
Yes. It's true. I did see that. You think he has
I
something
am an expert in
control?
manipulation, so I can see these things.
He is controlling the two celestials somehow. That's quite a feat. Controlling them, their affections. I did not know celestials had affections.
Oh, they're made of affections. They pretend to be above these things, but they are riven by passions. They are made up of it.
Well, what do you suggest we do? Heartless has trapped a dragon, a dragon that did no one no harm and is a great creature and should be freed.
Well, when you asked her about it, what did she say?
She lied. She said that she's going to, she lied to Flickering Breath and told Flickering Breath that she did not have the heart and that she was going to exchange it with another heart. But she has the heart. I know she has the heart.
But did you to ask her about it?
No.
She's your friend. She's your comrade. These are the only people that you can trust. They are your family.
Shall I confront her?
I don't think it's a matter of confronting, it's asking. See, because I know this. So I have a relation, and we have a tense relationship sometimes. And I've discovered that confronting, actively being perhaps a little bit overboard, has not gotten me the best reaction from them. But when I am straight with them, they tend to take me more seriously and answer my question.
I will consider your words.
Where did Domingo?
He was here a moment ago. But he may have followed Heartless and Chao Lu. Oh no, actually, that's not what happened. Someone came, one of his fellows from his old clan, told him that his master wanted to see him, or his old master.
All right. His old master, that I happen to know the name of, Master Iron. Yes, I just as a random fact that I might have picked up.
Do you have
Not that I'm a
a
stalker.
relationship with Da Ming?
I
Da Ming is my friend.
yes, I did. I wanted to learn his style and steal it from him. And that was why I was following him.
Oh, was that you in disguise who was following him around asking for lessons? I remember that.
Yes,
But
yes.
you looked different then.
It's because I'm a master of disguise. I thought we went over this already.
I'm
She's
just
like,
wrapping my head around it. I'm sorry.
No.
You move so quickly.
Coming is, I saw him 30 years ago, and he caught my eye then, and he still does.
He's very compelling, no?
Yes,
So self-assured. He always knows what he's doing.
he knows what he's doing.
That's somewhat attractive, no?
It is.
Does he know that you are a fox spirit? He is the one who brought you in here. Wait a second.
Yes, yes. The situation has gotten complicated. I had to reveal myself, because if I hadn't revealed myself, I would have been revealed by Flickering Breath, and I didn't want to do that. That's the story that I told you before. So that's what I'm telling you now.
That must be the true story then.
Absolutely.
Because fox spirits always tell the truth. Is that correct?
Yes. And that's not a logic problem.
Well, I will take your advice and talk to Heartless.
I will go and make sure that Da Ming is safe.
Yes, do that.
All right.
I would hate to think my friend might be in danger.
Yeah. And she'll point to Flickering Breath and say, I will, she'll wake up in a moment or two. All right.
That's good.
Okay. And she will vanish away. Let's take our first break, and I want to come back to Da Ming. So Da Ming, your brother in arms will take you through. There are the buildings that are set aside for each of the mountains that are put permanently in this place. That there's one for each of them, and you'll definitely see that there's a lot of like disorder going on. There's still that tension between the monster hunters and the other people, and there's some back and forth between the orders, and just basically there's just discord and disunity at this point. And Xiao Ming will take you through quietly, clearly doesn't want other people to see, and will bring you back to the back chambers of the place and bring you in, and you'll see candles and you'll smell incense, and you will see Master Iron laying there, and he looks very ill.
What's wrong? Has he been poisoned?
I do not know. He has been like that since this morning. I'm not sure.
Is he conscious?
He would go over, and I think his eyes will kind of flicker open.
Master Iron, what's happened? Were you attacked?
No, I overstepped. The fault is mine. I we were gifted the scales of the dragon, and I knew that there would be a conflict coming between the mountains, and so I drew their power into me, but it was too much. And yeah, Ming, what have you learned on the road?
Trying to remember. Oh yeah, he learned about the dragons. Uh, there's been a convergence of supernatural threats on this town. I haven't learned precisely what has brought them all here, but there's at least one fox demon. There is um, an ancient master who attacked my friend, and there are these dragons on the loose now, or at least one dragon.
I am going to put you in a difficult position here. And you will see him kind of reach over, and you'll see him pick up something beside the bed, and he will hold it out to you, and he has the jade seal of your order.
What do you want me to do with this, Master Iron?
Someone must take my place.
Um, is this make sense as a place to use my new move, the promise, to stop him from dying here?
If you want to.
Yeah, I think why not? Ooh, after what would I've already marked water.
Yeah,
I'll roll with earth.
sure.
Um, And I will say, I will say no. It's not your. I sense that it's not your time yet. Let me help carry the burden of the power that you drew from the dragon scale. And I roll 4.
And I think you will reach out to touch him. And you will see the sword go through his neck. And you will see Zhao Ming draw it back out and snatches the jade token away. You do not deserve this.
What have you done?
I have taken my rightful place, Da Ming. You abandoned our order.
I will, I think, draw my weapon and confront Xiao Ming.
Do you wish to fight me?
You know I don't wish to fight you, but there must be consequences.
Guards! Guards! Da Ming has slain the master! He shouts out, and the doors will come flying open, and you will see students there, and they look at you, the person who was exiled by the master, standing above him, sword drawn.
I will say, yes. Stand back. You will see that it was the sword of Xiao Ming that took the life of the master.
I think
Out of
these
jealousy.
students come running in to back Xiao Ming, the person who has led them, who has been amongst them for these last several years.
I don't think I can fight all of these people. Actually, no, I think I will fight all of these people.
Okay. So I think right now you have a choice. You can try and fight Xiao Ming, who right now, with all these people behind him, is above your scale.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can try to fight your way out through these troops and get yourself in a better position and get out of here. Or if you
Yeah,
have
I think
another
I'm just
solution.
gonna... Okay.
If you have another solution, we'll
Oh,
with
gotcha.
that. Yeah.
I do not. I think I'll just fight Xiao Ming.
Okay. Then when you fight someone whose scale is above yours, roll.
Yeah, I will fight with fire, which is my
Okay.
style element.
Absolutely.
And that's a 10.
Okay, that is a 10. So you are going to lose, but you get to tell me what this looks like. You get to absolutely say like what he does, how you lose, but manage to escape with skill and dignity here.
Yeah, I think so. All the students are rushing forward, and Da Ming kind of sweeps around him with his hammer, and the ones who are closest are kind of knocked back forcefully, and they all kind of stumble back in a circle, surrounding Xiao Ming and Da Ming as they kind of circle each other, in kind of locked in combat, or kind of locked in a stalemate, and Xiao Ming, I think at that point, I mean, tell me if this is too much, but
Sure.
will kind of see that Da Ming has the upper hand as he struggles to deflect some of Da Ming's blows, and kind of escape in behind some of the students, and Ming will see that his opportunity has kind of passed, and kind of smash his way through the crowd and escape.
Absolutely. Like you realize that like he's going to throw these students and force you to injure or even kill some of them. And that opportunity is gone, and we will see you shatter out through the side of the building, your hammer blow resounding, and you will vanish out into the town. Hammer with you, your master dead, betrayal everywhere. I'm going to say, though, because you rolled that 10 plus, I think that in the chaos and confusion of this, you have that jade token. Does that feel like a fair trade-off?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to cut to Heartless and Chow
Okay.
on the edge of town, uh, with whatever it is you're going to do next.
And I think she goes, yeah.
What now?
And she kind of goes, I don't know what to do. I'm going to have 2 dragons here. I'm going to have only 1 heart. I don't know. It's kind of, but I promised him I would free him.
Do what you think is best.
You stay back. You don't need to die, okay?
I will. Yes, I will. Well, yeah, we'll take a cowery step back.
I know that you run fast. And oh. So the first thing she does is she summons the heart back.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the thing is she pulls up one of these folded pieces of paper, just like that booklet that she gave you, you know, the sort of folded piece of paper with the riddle on it, very similar. This one just is, it has a shape that would be sort of the shape of faithful, like a sort of a circle, like a seal, and you can see that there's a sort of design that is like for faithful in the thing of it, and then there's a little riddle written on it, and she sort of picks it up and she puts it next to her lips, and she whispers the answer. You don't hear what it is. Clearly these riddles are something that she uses occasionally over and over again, so she doesn't like to give everyone the thing. And you see what look like that heart, kind of, but this one is alive and like it sort of is beating. She has that in her hand. Then she pulls up that piece of paper and you can see she's sort of trying to get her nerve up, and then she's like, and she puts it to her lips. She clearly is answering the riddle again. And it is the sort of strangest thing you've ever seen. That little piece of paper, it starts unfolding and unfolding and unfolding and unfolding until there's like it's there, like as big as a person is. And then you see another one from inside of it starting to unfold and unfold. This one's black though. And they're there. And then there's two people there. You saw the dragon boy before. He's there. And I guess there's another one who looks much like him, but in a black robe.
I'm actually really fascinated in celestial binding techniques, and I was wondering if I could study this for possible later use. Might not be the right moment.
Okay.
I don't want to step on this moment.
Right.
But
At the very least, for the technique roll, you've got that in hand. And I think we will see the two dragons. They have similar, if not identical, facial features, but they bear themselves very differently. There is one with the full horns and the neckline, and in white, who's kind of seated there, kneeling, who is looking around, kind of with both anger and surprise, and another one who is not kneeling but is standing in these dark robes, and he is looking around, and you can see that like he's deeply affected, and the one with the in white will kind of close his eyes as if he's trying to concentrate, and the one in black will say, everything has to die. Everything. And stands up tall.
He says, even yourself?
We'll come to that, yes.
And she goes, then let me make sure that you live. And she will actually kneel down in front of the other one and hand him his heart.
Hand it
I
to the
promised
one
you.
in white.
Yes.
Okay. Let me have you roll hearts and minds. It's a little on the nose, I know, but
All right. Yeah, this is everything. So I will use water. Doesn't matter if I can't fight, if I don't live. Okay, so 2d6, and I'm hoping for something decent. Oh, I got a 10. Yes.
10. So he will look at you and take the heart, and draw it into himself, and you will see the other fire of grief, in black, will kind of stand up and loom above you and Chao Lu and this first dragon, and you can see the sadness and anger in him, and the one in white will move to put himself between you and the one in black, will move to protect you and Xiao Lu.
And she will say from behind the other dragon, she will say, I know the one who sang the song to you. You and he should speak. Then you will understand.
Song Tian, I think this is your cue.
So Song Jian has been following along, and I don't know whether Heartless and Chao Lu knew he was following or not. Maybe Heartless knew. So he steps forward. So just so they have the image correct, the one in white is protecting my friends from the one in black, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think Song Tian steps forward and looks at the one in black and says, "You are the one who spoke to me as I
Kind of
spoke to you."
shocked, turns, looks, and sees you. Yes.
And as Song Tian's stepping forward, he's started the Song of Grief on his zither, but
Yes. You understood. You understood that there is no such thing as love. You understand. You understood it. You tell me that you know.
And I think what Song Tian does is he begins to shift the song a little bit to try to give more hope. Like, I was in a moment of despair, he says, as he's playing. But there is hope in love. We have connected. There is a possibility of beings as different as us forming a connection. So I think this is Hearts and Minds role as well.
Yeah.
And he's trying to integrate the Song of Grief with the sense of hope, and so that both can be there at the same time: the grief of lost love and the hope of further connection. And
I have a tie with you, so should you need it, it is a +1 that you can count
what do you have,
on.
Heartless?
I have a tie to you, a bond, so I can give you a +1.
Oh, yeah. And of course, I have my curse. I can always count on that.
Yes.
But then
If you
it'll be the
if you want it to
4th.
go so wrong, yes.
Let's see. But I have to first choose an element. I think that's the first choice, right? And the elements, I'm gonna go with wood for growth.
Okay.
Because this is a growth move. And where's this thing? All right. All right, I will need help. Apparently, since I rolled a 6.
Okay.
Heartless, you want to spend your bond? It'll go
Absolutely.
to 7.
Yes, because she's standing there with she's like, yes.
Song, do you want to, is there anything you want to spend to take that up? Or are you happy with the 7?
I would have to spend 3 to take it up to a 10.
Yes,
right?
you would.
Not that we don't have much story left.
You have,
or maybe we
you
do.
have 3 left.
Do I have 3 left? Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see, where am I? 3 bonds, right?
Right.
With Chao Lu, who's present, Heartless Don Don who's present, and Da Ming, who is always an inspiration to me.
Yeah.
In his steadiness of mind. Sure, why don't we like splurge on all my, because it doesn't make sense to do my curse right now, because
Right.
my curse is kind of a long, I have to like follow up on the
Right.
curse.
We've got
like,
3 ticks on it, but we're not like this would be a real shift of it. So
I'll just spend all my bonds.
what is it like? What do we see the change here of this person who has been so mired in grief and betrayal? What is it, the shift here for him? The music, the song that you sing, that brings him down from just that place of that the world is empty and nothing matters.
I think Song Tian is looking, and he's looking at his friends who are here. Chao Lu is here, right? and Heartless Dandan is here, and he's remembering Da Ming. And the sense of connection that he still feels with his friends, even though now he suspects Xiaolu is a fox spirit, and he knows Heartless is. Now he's realizing that Heartless has released the dragon, and that his suspicions about her motives were incorrect, and that she's been quite courageous. And so I think as he's playing and stepping forward, he's looking at his two friends with love. And even in the midst of conflict, or in the midst of uncertainty about, you know, whether Xiaolu is a fox demon or a fox spirit, sorry. and Heartless Dandan is a meddling celestial.
But only for good.
And so and I think what we see then is actually, although Songtian stops playing the zither, the music continues, and he reaches out a hand to the dark dragon to bring him closer. And I don't want to overstep, but one possibility would be to extend the other hand to the white dragon, in a sense.
Here's what I think happens here: is you extend your hand to the black dragon. There is a moment when you will feel a shift. He has that absence. He doesn't have the heart like the white dragon does, but you will feel something shift and move and fill that space. And you will feel that wind spirit, your companion, move and fill that void, that connection with you to him. And, you know, he will take your arm steadily and look at you as if to say, this is what we should be doing. And Heartless, you will see the other dragon will lift you up.
It was fulfill my promise. Mhm. The girl flickering breath. What she did, she regrets. It is her family that set her to that betrayal. And she sort of looks at Xiaolu. I think that Xiaolu may speak to her distress.
And the dragon will look at you, Xiaolu.
So many mixed emotions right now.
Say the word and I will destroy her.
Oh, well, that's an easy one. No, she was. These mortals are foolish and rash, and hers is a complicated tie that goes back generations. She was a pawn in a game being played out over centuries, perhaps. And she knew not the agent for whom she worked.
I made you and your friend no promise to keep everyone safe, but I will make that promise now.
I'm going to strike back at the one who set this going. Flickering breath's grandmother.
Well, come, Celestial. Come, Fox Spirit. Let us go and do what needs to be done.
All right. I check in with Chalu if he wants to run. Completely understand.
Since he's been identified as a fox spirit now.
No. Oh, yeah, he did say that.
Yes.
The dragon very much called him out.
Yes.
Um,
I think that like Heartless Don didn't even blink, but it's more like, well, yeah, of course. But like she hasn't really thought about it yet. Does that make any sense?
yeah.
So, Chadley, what do you want to do here?
In the sense of being revealed.
You're all out here at the outskirts of town. There's things going on. You don't know where Da Ming is at. Peerless Zhelan is still out there.
Yeah. It's been a lovely reunion, or a lovely, moment, and very, very heartwarming, for Heartless to have done all of this. But there is business at hand. And we did leave Flickering Breath back at the tavern, and Da Ming, and Peerless Zhelan is still out there. So I think at this point, if there's a sense of immediate, like still brewing immediate danger, like stuff is going to go down tonight, then I think the goal is to get back to Flickering Breath and get back
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
and probably on the way there is when we're going to start hearing bedlam from the.
We will cut to town. There
Can I say
is
one thing
bedlam.
before that?
Yes,
Can I say one thing
please.
before that?
Absolutely.
As we turn to head back to town, Song Tian says to Chaolu, Chaolu, your sister was worried about you. But you know, even more important, she is in love with Da Ming.
Is she now? I never would have guessed.
It's very imposing.
Her wily ways are going to get her in trouble again.
Now I see the resemblance between you and her very clearly.
We're just gonna like do a little glare at that, but not think anything more of it. But I think that is a great line to send us back to town on.
Yeah, I think there's chaos. You can tell that there's tension, there's anger between the different factions. It seems like the people from each of the mountains are up in arms. The monster hunters are, and when you will reach, into the edge of town, you will hear that Da Ming has murdered the leader of Stillness Mountain, and that he is out loose in the city, and there people are in much upset at this news here. And that Da Ming has fled, and people are looking for him.
Well, as a fox spirit, I know my first thing is to go to familiar ground and go to safety. If Da Ming can't go to Stillness Mountain's encampment, I'm gonna go back to that tavern that we all have kind of repeatedly found ourselves at. I feel like, because I suspect if I was Da Ming, that would be where I would go.
Da Ming, what do you think?
I think that makes sense. That's what Ming would do.
So, kind of at the back corner of this tavern, as noise is going on, lanterns are being lit. There's much argument going on. You've kind of concealed yourself at the back, as Chaolu, Heartless, Song, you will come in, and you will arrive there, and you can make your way to where Da Ming is.
Da Ming, What is going on? They said you killed someone.
Oh, Chao Lu, thank goodness I found you. I was betrayed by the man I thought was my sworn brother, Xiao Ming. He murdered our master and claimed that I did it. I don't know how to prove my innocence.
What reason would you have to kill your master?
He- Uh, I think he was going to make me the his successor, and Xiao Ming killed him in a fit of jealousy.
This all sounds strangely familiar. Um,
In what sense?
this is how the sectarian wars started. There was a question of succession in the Ox Pilgrim Escort Bureau, and one of the inheritors was promised or was going to be the successor, but then a rival killed the master and took over. And it was a villain named Ageless Sin who then used that new power and began attacking the other Wulin sects at the time. Killed dozens of Wulin heroes.
Yes, it's a flawed system for determining succession, but that's not the issue right now.
Now,
The point is, your story makes sense. It feels like it feels like I've heard of this treachery before. So I'm inclined to believe you.
So, how was your master killed?
He was stabbed.
So, so what stabbing weapon do they say that you use, since you carry a huge hammer?
Yeah, I think no one stopped to consider that aspect of the story too closely. But I'm sure Xiao Ming will claim that I snatched his sword and used it to stab our master.
So, she kind of stops and goes, "Do you know what else is going on? It seems like there's quite a bit of tumult. Is this all in search of you, Dummy?"
Uh, no, our Master Iron said that there was he and the other schools have been given dragon scales, and he had attempted to absorb the power from the scale in order to prepare for an upcoming conflict among the sects.
Oh, that wouldn't be a good idea.
It's too bad you weren't there to tell him that.
Have you seen Flickering Breath?
I have not. Is she um, is she still in the city?
Let's find out.
Yeah, I think Chao Lu's gonna go outside and start interrogating any stragglers and try and get some sense of information.
okay. I think you know a quick survey back to the tea house that you were at before, where Song Tian had left from where and so on, and where you would recover from the poison. Uh, Flickering Breath is not there. Um, and you can ask, and uh, one of the people there will say she was here waiting until a little while ago, but then when you came to get her, she left.
When I came to get her,
Yes,
where did I go?
you were here, and she said for you to come with her, and then she left.
That would be her grandmother.
That would be her grandmother. She is in incredible danger. Um, I need to start looking around. I need to find. I'm in full panic mode now. Just look
She
around
sort
for.
of stops and says, how did she look like you? Think about it. How was she able to look like you?
That's easy. She probably still has a foxtail.
All right. So you need to be tracking a foxtail.
I don't have any magical abilities to track a an item like that.
Sure.
Heartless, do you wish to use Demon Catcher?
Sure. Let's try it.
What do you want to roll this with?
Okay. So, I see. May I have the hair from your tail? There we go.
Oh, oof.
Just a single hair. Insufficient to do anything other than find a tail related to your own.
Need everyone to look away for a moment. And when
No,
they
but I want to see the tail.
no, you can't. That's not how it works.
Oh, fine.
When everybody looks away, we'll quickly shift, grab one of our own, pluck one of our own tail hairs, and then shift back into our disguise form and hand it to Heartless on.
All right. And then I think that I'm going to roll with fire for speed. Hope this goes well. So that's rolling with +1. Ah, it's a 4. It's a 4.
Oof.
That is a
I
4.
was gonna try and help too, but I don't think
Really?
I can. I don't think my one little comfort and support can do much there.
Wait a minute though. So 1. No, it's not going to help. So what happens when this goes terribly wrong?
We've played into their hands.
I am. I'm going to play into their hands.
Which is just as exciting.
Exactly.
All right. I need to take a few minutes here
All
to
right.
consider what that's going to happen.
Right.
Let's take till the hour. So give me about 7 minutes and then we will continue on, all right?
Sounds great.
Perfection.
So I think we will see you take that and fall on that sympathy. And I think we can see it's getting dark, and we can see that there's chaos now, a discontent, and we can see that there's fighting between members of different orders. There's noise and tumult in the streets, almost as if someone had planned for all of these factions to fight one another. But I think that you have to leave aside as you will see that there is one of these older like temples, and you will force your way through the crowds there, and you will throw the doors open, and I think at the inside there, with almost looks like smiling as she's pulling the strings, you will see Peerless Zhelan as you come in. But I think as you come in, as you come through Song Heartless, I think you'll see the dragons stop outside, like they don't want to go in.
Fine.
And Peerless Zhelan is simply looking at the four of you.
Well, let's do it.
What do you want to do, Heartless?
Let's see here. What do I want to do? I think that
Is flickering breath there visible?
You do not see flickering breath there.
yeah, I think that one of the things that she does is she will pull one of those pieces of paper out, and she will essentially open it, essentially do the whisper and this, and there'll be sort of a cloud of some sort of dust, and she's taken her brush out and she sort of takes it through the dust, and essentially this is just it's like celestial, like start of a duel move. It doesn't do anything except set what color of sparkles you're using. But that's it. She's getting ready to do a swing, if that makes anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Chalu, Daming.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this. Peerless Zhelan wouldn't. Why would she show herself not in disguise?
I'm not sure I even know who Peerless Zhelan is, other than the fact that she attacked Xiaolu.
Right. You see this tall, pale figure in a black cloak. We have a picture there, her there, little skulls on things.
The skulls. That's how you know it's Peerless Zhelan. Discern if it's her, Chalu.
I have an idea.
Go for it. I'd love to hear it.
I think Fengtian, there's been so many revelations, and he's been so aware of, like, the illusions, like his misperceptions about Heartless, and then the illusions of the fox spirits and the dragons. And so I think he wants to cast some kind of spell of revelation that, like, just illuminates all illusions.
Eerie Moon. You've got the move for this.
Okay, I will use that move then. And I guess it's let's see, I have to choose an element. And to see through illusions, I guess it would be water. That would make sense. Or
Okay.
yeah, I think so. It's a +1. Let's see what happens. It's an 8.
And I think we will see you like do that. I assume is it the playing of the instrument?
It's the playing of the instrument. It's like just a loud chord. It's not a song. It's just one loud chord that's just kind of trying to just like banish all illusions so he can see something clearly in all of this mess of machinations and weavings.
And Peerless Zhelan will waver, and you will see Chao Yue bound there, tied to the altar, upright, and you will see the wavering in the corners, and you will hear Peerless Zhelan say, "See, I was hoping that one of you would leap forward and strike me down, and then we would have the tragic scene of this innocent fox spirit killed by a brother, a lover, a friend. It would have been delicious." And we will see Peerless Zhelan, and with her, you can see Calm Wing, her grandson. He has a hold of Flickering Breath, who is also bound. And he kind of pushes her down to her knees in front of him. And we will see Green Saber Jai Kui and Zhao Ming. And Peerless will say, I am glad that you brought the dragons to me. Now we will finish off all 3 of these mountains. And Qiao Lu, we will finish off what I should have dealt with years ago.
Qiao Lu is in his true form, by the way, or a true form, by the way.
So
his...
what do we see on screen? What does Da Ming see? What is because Da Ming hasn't seen this form.
I don't think any of the player characters
Yeah.
have seen Qiao Lu, at least in what we could call it a war form. So it's still humanoid, and it looks very similar to the Qiao Lu as he's been presenting himself. But he has these snowy white fox ears that stick straight up. He has a pair of tails, snow white with these little red tips on them. On his forehead is a symbol very close to that curlicue that had transformed the papers when they were pulling the poison out. It looks something like a less than sign, but stretched slightly taller. And then there is a dot in the negative space. And all fox spirits have a sort of a unique, it's like a thumbprint. It's unique to their form, and that's Qiao Lu's, and it sits on his forehead. His face is slightly elongated, and he has fangs, elongated canines. His fingers are longer and monstrous. And that's kind of about it. His hair is unbound and wild. His eyes are solid black. And yeah, he looks quite monstrous, I think, in this form.
Da Ming.
I think I got to roll inner
I
conflict
was
here.
about to ask you that. I think you turn to maybe say something to Qiao Lu, and you see Qiao Lu like this.
Yeah. Let me see what I have available here. I guess.
Oh, and since we're doing horns on spirits, yeah, he has little backswept horns, I think, little deer antlers.
I guess Earth is what I'm gonna roll with. Which gives me +0. And
Make it worse.
oh boy,
it gets worse.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I might. I think I might. Yeah, I think I need to spend some bonds here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend a bond with Song Tian, who is, I know will support me. And I think I'll spend a bond with Xiaoming since I'm confronting him here.
So you are going to have to mark Earth to kind of hold yourself together here, and I think that you'll hear Xiaoming shout out, "I told you so." What do you do, Da Ming?
I think I will say I don't know what I would say in this. I would say that's not important right now. You killed our master.
Yeah, we've got 3 foes who are on your scale, 1 foe who is above your scale, and 2 hostages. What is it you want to do then? You shout that out that's not important. What do you want to do?
I'll say let them go and face me. The 2 of us. And can I invoke my my gambling move here to challenge him to a I guess it's not a game of chance. It's just, I want to challenge him to single combat.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think if you shout that out, he's not holding one of the hostages.
Yeah.
So I think that the 2 of you will fly to engage one another. So I think we see that start. Let's see where everybody else goes before we resolve any of these moves. Heartless, what is it that you want to do as hammer flies out as he goes to fight his brother?
Oh, that's interesting. I think that there's a thing where she sees, Greensaber's Jacques, and she does a thing where she just is like, she ignores him.
Really?
Okay.
You can do that, but I'm going to have you roll inner conflict because you've still got that as one of your entanglements.
I know. All right. It's true.
Roll with anything but
I knew he
water.
was up to something. Okay. So I will roll with we'll roll with fire.
Okay.
And that gives me an 8.
Okay. So you can mark fire to stay in the fight.
Okay, that's what I will do.
So what do you want to do? Is you kind of ignore him pointedly.
Yeah. Essentially, so
A couple of hostages, a couple of
exactly.
combatants, and a named foe of higher scale.
Yeah. And I think I do the thing where I make myself go invisible. It's not subtle, but the thing
This is not an everyday situation. If we were in an everyday situation, that is
Okay.
your ability to kind of move through quiet domestic life and things.
Okay. Sorry, I thought maybe I could still do it just to essentially pull a different kind of attention. So it wasn't to sneak around, but to distract, if that makes any sense.
If
But
you wanted
not,
to use that and to overcome to do something, what is
Yeah.
your intention for that?
Essentially what it is that I want to create a certain set of like where people are watching for me, and that gives Song Tian and Chao Lu the opportunity to work without being quite as how should we say, under the scope.
So that's comfort and support.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So you may roll. Who you
All
want
right.
to support?
Let's see here. I suppose Chao Lu has the most significant ability to attack, whereas Song Chen would probably be in support as well. So I probably will support Chao Lu
Okay.
in this moment. In this
If
first
you roll
moment.
a 10 plus, you can affect the other person rather than yourself in this case, we'll say. That seems like good fictional positioning for that.
Okay. All right. So that's what I'm gonna try. So I don't have much left. So I'm going to try metal, I suppose, and then just hope I finally roll well.
Not going to roll with your style element?
7. It wasn't my fighting style, so
You
I
can
rolled
always roll,
7.
you can always roll with your thing, even if it's not
Okay.
your, yeah.
Okay.
So you rolled a 7. So you can clear an element on them, or do you want to take a bond with them that you can then burn?
Ooh, you know what?
Or you can give them a bond with you, rather.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I will give I give Chao Lu another bond, and then that means it's a thing that I can do for Dami as well.
Okay.
So eventually. So right
so
now.
you go invisible to kind of draw that off. We see that the flickering of your sword. We probably see a little bit of a kind of a flashy after image. So on screen we can kind of see what's gone on. Chao Lu, you've been holding position there. Song Tian breaks the illusion. You see these figures. You see your sister. You see flickering breath. They are both held as hostages.
Yeah. I would love to try and bait it's Calm Wing is the one holding his sister hostage, right?
Yes.
As much as I would love to just like bait him into a pursuit, I don't know if he's gonna give in. But
Hearts and minds.
I'm a fox spirit, so Lu might have some more entertaining arguments than I, Kevin, the player, can do. So if you're willing to do hearts and minds, let's
Absolutely.
go.
And you can roll that with whatever you want.
I mean, creativity is the hallmark of the fox spirit. So let's go with fire. Hearts and minds. Hearts and minds, fire, +3. That's an
Oh
11.
yeah. So is it do you think it's verbal? Do you think it's magic? Do you think it's motion? Like how is it that you bait Calm Wing into coming at you?
Gosh, I wish I knew more about him, because it would be smart to play on something that he wants. And I don't know.
Tail.
Maybe that's it. Uh if we can get close to him, maybe we can just like dance one of our I wonder if he has something that, because these are cultivators, they're people who draw stuff out. If I get
Right?
if I get close enough to him to where he might be able to start pulling out our spirit energy, or at least I make him think so, and it's just enough to get him to let go, and then just sort of start leading him on a
Absolutely.
chase.
He will throw down his sister and leap after you, and you will see him leap out, and extended from his hand, you will see he has this iron brush that you will recognize.
Oh
It is the
no.
weapon of your old friend Wen Yan Wen.
Oh
He has
no.
that, and he is chasing you down, and he's going to kill you with your friend's weapon.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
But yeah, you have drawn him off. Song Tian, of the three that were up there, of the some ones on your scale, two of them have been drawn off. There's still two hostages. There's a Celestial who's kind of looking around, trying to follow where Heartless went. And of course, there's Peerless Zhelan, who's watching all this.
And Chao Yue is one of the hostages, right?
Yes, she's kind of bound
He
up
was the
by
one
the
who died
altar.
by the altar.
Yeah.
I think Song Tian, yeah, he's not going to take on Peerless by himself. He can draw her fire, but I think his impulse is to free his new fox spirit friend.
Hey, that'll be overcome.
Okay, so it's an overcome, and why don't I roll and then I can narrate.
What do you want to roll with?
Let's see. Geez, what would make sense here? How do you free somebody? Flexibility, maybe?
Are you leaping up there to pull them away? Are you using your zither to break the bonds? What do you think?
I think maybe we'll use the accord to try to shatter the bonds from a distance rather than trying to leap up there.
So if you want to roll your style element, you're welcome to do that.
Okay, let's go ahead. What could go wrong, right? All right.
That's good.
Ooh, it's a 6.
It is a 6.
I don't have any bonds left. I don't think. Let's see. Do I have? I think I shot my wad with the dragons.
You have another option.
I do have another option. But do I even have access to? I guess I don't know if they were integrated into the dragon. Anyways, I can push with my curse.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and do it? Let's see what happens. What could go wrong?
Absolutely.
So I've come to 4. So that would bring me up to a 7.
So I think as you do that, as you strike, One of the things about Eerie Moon and Evil Star is this idea that,
Oh, wait.
yes,
Oh, no, I don't have a +1 from that. No, sorry. Go ahead.
uh, is the idea that you've been hurt by the supernatural, by an otherworldly force in the past.
Mhm.
And I think you haven't really narrated what that is. And maybe I'm going to say that maybe you don't exactly remember. But I think that as you leap up there and pull her away, you will feel a pang in your chest that the where you were hurt, and I think will feel you start to feel something turn, and I think there is this memory suddenly of where you got that scar and how you were injured, of that were tiger coming out of the woods and striking you. And I think you realize that you are like, you can hold yourself together, but you're going to be a danger to your friends soon because you are a were tiger and you are hungry.
Oh, no.
Does that feel okay?
Sure.
Okay. So what do we like? How does the audience know that 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 you're certainly fighting against this?
I mean, I think we see a flashback, obviously, like you just um, uh, narrated, that the were-tiger striking at me and maybe striking with their claws at my chest. And then I think we see my eyes go kind of back in the present, we see my eyes go kind of feline in terms of bright golden with the vertical pupil slit. And as I push Chao Yue off, lead her off the altar. But I'm stumbling forward now as if I can't get control of myself. And so yeah, that's what we see.
Excellent. Excellent. We'll come back to that. So we've got two duels to resolve here. Da Ming, actually, we'll resolve Da Ming's, and then we'll come around because Chow has drawn off. So Da Ming, you're in a face down against your friend. He is on your scale. Go ahead and roll with your style element.
All right. And that is a 10.
So what do we see? He has those big sabers, those blades. He is using one in each hand. He knows what your fighting style is. He presses in on you hard. Like clearly he's imagined this fight 100 times. Uh, it's like, master, never stop talking about you, hitting back and forth. What happens? How do you turn the tide here?
Yeah, I think Daming is kind of surprisingly fast with this large hammer, and I think he is just fast enough to deflect um, Xiaoming's blows as they as he comes at him. He's using kind of all the parts of the hammer, using the hilt, kind of ducking around these blows, and Xiaoming is monologuing as he presses forward, and he starts to flag a bit, and I think eventually Daming gets an opening where and kind of smashes um, a strong blow against one of Xiaoming's sabers, and it snaps off at the hilt and kind of spins away. And Daming kind of gives. I'm thinking is he gives him the opportunity to kind of surrender. And Xiaoming kind of acts as if he is surrendering, kind of dishonorably tries to get in another blow. And Da Ming knocks away his other sword that kind of flies towards a group of the students who are huddled around, and they realize that this is the sword that killed the master. And I think because of the way Xiaoming acted, they realized that why kind of the motive behind the killing.
Perfect. I think because you've knocked the doors open of this temple, kind of you're a little bit more outside, so they have to witness this. They're like, oh my gosh, because they see their leader fall to you, but then dishonorably try to stab you, and they kind of realize that, and then that sword flies. They see that, they look at it, and then you strike him down. And there's this like gasp from the students of realization of the mistake that they have made. Heartless,
Yes.
you see Song's curse coming. You see Da Ming turning things. Chao Lu has drawn off Calm Wing. One of the hostages has been freed, but Green Saber is still up there. Peerless is still up there. What do you want to do? Green Saber's trying to track where you are.
Yeah. I think I give him a little hint and I head over to Songtian because I see what's going to go down, and I'm hoping that I can put Green Saber in, should I say, in between us, if that makes any sense.
Okay. So do you want to do that as duel, or do you want to do this support, or do you want to do this overcome? What is your intent here? What would you like to have happen?
I want to blunt the were-tiger attack. You know what I mean? Or to make it, yes, I want to blunt in the sense of I want to spin it towards a foe rather than a,
let's do that as overcome.
Okay.
Putting Green Saber, in harm's way from Song, and potentially giving them +1 forward. Does that seem like a fair way to do that?
Yes.
Let's have you roll.
Okay. All right. And I think I'm going to have to start using water.
Yes.
So there you go. So 2d6, a decent roll would be great. I get a 10.
10.
Okay.
So let's actually cut to Song. Song, you will see this celestial Heartless draws him over, kind of pushing him back, and he is close by you. And Heartless has pushed him in your way.
Serve him up on a platter.
What do you do?
And I think Song, this came out of nowhere, and Song is overwhelmed by bloodlust in the close proximity of Green Saber, and I think he will attack Green Saber, trying to tear his heart out.
Roll with your style element still, because that is your combat element, with a +1 forward.
Okay. Ooh, glad I had that. It's a 7.
So that is a 7. So you have a choice. You can win at a cost, narrate your loss, or deadlock and ask a question.
I think I'll win at a cost, and there's definitely cost to this.
I think the cost is that, if I may, that you will strike him down, but I don't think that cures your bloodlust.
No, it just feeds it.
Yeah, does that seem fair?
Yeah. So
how do you do that? Like, what do we see happen on screen?
Right. So this is not a musical event at all. This is claws, big claws growing out of his hands and raking straight towards Greensaber's chest and basically ripping his heart out. I think
Yeah.
with an amazing strength, like it didn't, like his rib cage is not even there somehow.
Right. He's got his back to you because his focus is still on Heartless. He still thinks that you're just a musician that doesn't understand why Heartless has followed you. And then suddenly, there is that crunching that his eyes go wide and then he collapses down.
And we just see Song holding the heart, and his face is maybe now the eyes are completely red, yellow and slitty, and I don't know what were-tigers in Chinese mythology actually look like.
I
Whether
think
they're
we're just
furry,
starting to get that sort of beginning of the
the
transformations there.
transformation, yeah.
Chow Lu, you see a were-tiger. Your friend has been taken over. Your sister is clear. The were-tiger got your sister clear. And you are engaged with Calm Wing.
I'm gonna try and lead him on a chase. So once he's committed and thrown his sister aside and given in to his own greedy desires, we're gonna try and lead him out the temple, along the rooftops, and try and pull him away from the fight, away from Peerless Zhelan. Ultimately, our goal is to isolate her,
Okay.
but we're definitely going for pursuit of vengeance here.
Absolutely. Leap out, leap past Da Ming and the students in the revelation there. Let's have you roll. What do you want to roll that with?
Oh, speed, fire.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a
Oh
10.
yeah. So what are the two picks you want?
Trap them for a time.
Okay.
And is there anyone unaddressed that I could bring along? Is there any other threats other than Peerless Zhelan?
Now I think you've dealt with all the threats. If you
Hmm.
want to go back while they're trapped, I think double back on them makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
To kind of increase the distance that you got. He thinks he's still following you,
Yeah,
but that's an
absolutely.
after image that he's chasing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Basically, I just want to remove him from the fight.
Okay.
If he comes back, the two dragons that aren't going into the temple will finish him. So that's
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, we just see Chow Lu, like a lot of times with these, the martial arts, you see them kind of like floating very daintily from rooftop to rooftop, but Chow Lu is a lightning bolt, just like zip 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 from like place of purchase. And
More the anime sort of blur and then you're in a different place kind of look. I love it. And he is pursuing you. Da Ming, you turn around, you see that other foes have been dealt with. Peerless Zhelan is there, but you also see that your friend Song Tian is changing.
Yeah, I think I may need to roll inner conflict here because Heartless Dandan described trying to point Song Tian towards the enemies, and my entanglement was that I
Yeah.
was worried that Heartless Dandan was trying to lead Song Tian into danger.
Let's have you roll it.
So I'm gonna roll with, let's see, I've got a lot of stuff marked. Go roll with wood. Oh boy.
amazing.
I mean, I think maybe kind of the consequence of this is that, I mean, Da Ming might think that blame Heartless Dandan for perhaps for Song Chan's transformation or something like that.
I think actually in this case, let me suggest a different sort of thing. I think that there's a certain amount of worry, but I think that you want to stop your friend, right? You want to try and keep that transformation. And I think that you will you want to go to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we'll see you rush up to to try and help him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I like that.
Where does he rake you with those claws? Is it the
Um,
arm? Is it the face? Like what limb does he take?
um,
Ear, eye, arm?
yeah, I think face. Just, I think, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, maybe lose an eye.
Yeah. There is that thing. You come over, you try to you say his name, and that claw comes up, and suddenly you jerk back, and there is blood running down your face. And I think this is just as you're coming back, Chao Lu, and you have a flashback. This is what happened before in the fight against the were-tiger, and blood is pouring down your face, Da Ming. So mark an element
Or mark wounded.
or mark wounded.
If you mark wounded, I can heal that in combat and maybe
I
something
mean,
else.
wounded makes narrative sense.
Okay. Yeah. You stagger back away from that heartless. You see that Song tries to, Daming tries to help. Song tries to, but blood.
Yeah, and I think there's that thing of where Song sort of, swings out at him, and Dao Ming kind of comes back, and I think I'm gonna try to catch Dao Ming, and I'm like, no, 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 he's cursed. This is gonna happen. And I said, let's get you back on your feet. I'm gonna try to heal him.
Comfort and support.
All right, that is my stated divinity. So comfort and support, I will use my weapons thing, water,
Sure.
just because it makes sense. 2d6. That's a 9. Let's
So-
see here. Do I have anything left? I don't.
Got one bond left.
I have a bond. Can I use it?
Yeah.
Yes, screensaver Jockey, who I just fed to them. I'm like, I think I'm mourning that, and I don't want any more people to go. So I will spend that, and that gets it to
Okay. You may
8.
you make
This doesn't make any difference. So
well, wait, you had a +2, so it gets it to
oh yeah, that's 9. So that
Yeah.
takes it to 10.
10.
Okay, good.
So
Okay.
now there's a couple of things here. One, Daming, you may clear that wounded immediately. Heartless, you may clear an element on someone.
Okay, who needs an element cleared the most? Probably, if we can get Daming back up, that would be the best.
Okay.
So he's got the fire, but his water's back too.
Okay, you cleared that. And then you
Yes.
rolled a 10+, so you can clear another element on yourself
Awesome.
or take a bond.
Hmm.
Or if you want, we can invoke something to interrupt that tiger transformation.
Ooh, that would be perfect. I would love to do that.
I think that you will call out and extend your ink as a means of entry, and we will see that dragon sweep in along the ink on the floor and run up and grab you, Song, and will grab you and hold you and say, come back to me, come back, Song. And you'll start to feel that curse get pushed back down. What do you do, Song?
Yeah, I just see the dragon, like a Song pinned to the ground, to the marble of the temple floor, with the
Face
and-
close, too close.
yeah, too close, yeah. And what do you call it? The vertical pupil eye of the dragon, the vertical pupil eye of Song, making that contact, and we just see it, Song return to his regular form, somehow, still pinned down by the dragon. But yeah, almost you know, semi-conscious almost at this point. And the dragon slowly remove his claws from. Are there two dragons now?
Yeah, there's the one outside and your dragon.
And my dragon, right? Yeah, so this is the dark dragon, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Slowly pull his claws up, and Song just lays there kind of in a delirium at the
Says,
moment.
I am sorry, my heart, but I need you to get up and finish this fight.
Yeah, the dragons have like I just see images of dragons like Chinese dragons that have like a lot of like whiskers. Is that the right term for them?
Yeah, I imagine that we see that human form, and then probably the spectral of the
whiskers, and I think you see Song's arms come up, and those tendrils kind of go around his arms and pull him to a standing position, and the zither that's been cast aside kind of almost floats forward and lands in his hands, and some awareness comes back into his face.
So we have a foe. We have that Chao Lu knows how to seal the deal, knows through new technique how to bring down the scale. But tell me, Song, what are you doing with your skills against Peerless Zhelan with your music here to reduce her scale, to put her, now that her minions are down, to put her in a disadvantageous position? You are muted.
Thank you. Peerless Zhelan is ancient, right? But human.
Human, yes.
As human. I think there's a way that what Song Tian has been through just now, the experience of the curse and the regaining of his humanity, I think he is going to play a song of human frailty, and try to awaken in her the last vestiges of her humanity, which will weaken her because she is a cold-hearted villainess.
Nice. So roll overcome. You can roll with your combat, your style element if you wish.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is, table. Oh, sorry. Here we go. It's a 9.
Yeah, so I think you're going to have to mark what an element of your choice. I think as you play that, as you draw her attention, as she feels that, we'll see her like throw those poison darts, and they will strike at you, but you still keep playing that song, and you can see her put her hands to her ears. Ming, you're up, blood running down your face. Heartless has gotten you back up. You've got this hammer. What is it that you do to break her guard, to draw her off, to distract, to reduce her scale?
I think Ming is kind of circles around behind her and is kind of presses kind of tentatively forward with his on guard, just to keep her kind of keep her from focusing all of her attention on
that you are up, you're behind her, you're pressing against her, that hammer swings, she's having to just divert her attention to keep away from that strike, because when that hits against anything, it's shattering stone, it's smashing through wood. She's moving again, she's fast, she leaps, she has amazing lightness, but she's still pressed and harried. Heartless.
I think that I settle down next to Flickering Breath, and essentially undo her bonds, and I'm standing between Flickering Breath and Heartless, or not Heartless,
Fearless.
Peerless Zhelan, and I say, all of those things that you have used, they will be taken away from you, and it will happen this night. And essentially, I'm guarding her from her own granddaughter, who she used so terribly. So it's kind of a hearts and mind to,
Yeah.
essentially that celestial judgment kind of things.
So let's have you do that as overcome
Okay.
to draw off the last of that attention.
Okay. So I will roll with a +2. Oh, 5. Not very good. Let's see here. I will.
So that's a 5.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't have a lot of things to do on it, so I will spend. How about I mark 2 elements on that to keep
Okay.
it from affecting anyone else?
You're gonna take my hard move away from me.
I am going to do it. I'm offering you a very nasty hard move.
Mark wounded.
Oh, as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's
then I
terrible.
won't lay a hand on her.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
I
That's fine.
do think it is. I think that even as Ming is swinging behind you and Song is pressing in, you draw her attention and she is continuously striking at you like you have offended her and you have kept her from something, and that draws her attention and she strikes and cuts and bloodies you. Chow Lu, you've entered back into this room, you've seen all this, you see her killing heartless Don, trying to get at her granddaughter. I think you see her, the shape flickering, see the foxtail on her, Ming striking at her. How do you finish her off?
When she starts to press onto Heartless Don and Heartless gets wounded, and we see, the blood spray or the coughing up blood.
It's all ink.
We see her coughing up ink in that wonderful wuxia way when you get like hit in the chest.
Yeah.
Shaolu's like anger all of a sudden just shatters, and he cries out in pain and loss and fear, and he recklessly dives at Peerless Zhelan, and she just plunges her claws directly into his chest. But did she get the right one? And a little blue fireball just kind of slowly, in the silence that sort of lingers there as this image of Chow Lu dying there to her fingertips might rock the room with silence.
Let's have you roll.
All right, it's dual, so it's not my best. +1, let's go. That is a 9, and I've got bonds to burn with Heartless
Yes.
Don to take it to 10.
So like there is that moment, like she's turned away from Heartless, struck at this with absolute certainty that that's where you were, drives it in, laughs as she sees the blood come out of you, and then realizes you're not there.
And I think there isn't like a sound, there isn't a cry. She just kind of looks down, and there is just a dagger just punched right through her diaphragm from the back. And then a hand comes up and takes the tail away from her hand. And Shaolu just like steps back away and lets her fall.
Crashes to the ground. And I think there's silence there. I think the camera is going to kind of pull back, blood on Ming, blood on Heartless. blood on Song Tian. Outside, the students kind of looking and watching on with amazement. You know, the camera is going to kind of pull back, and we're going to go to epilogues. Ming, what do you think your epilogue is in the immediate aftermath or down the road? What are we going to see?
I think we see a montage of Ming kind of rebuilding the school and instructing students. I think at the end of that kind of montage, we see Xiao Yue approaching him, and he has this kind of look like, it's like, am I gonna make the same mistake again? Like,
Absolutely. I love it. Song Tian.
Let's see, epilogue. So I think it has to be later, and I'm just picturing like a mountain pass, rocky, and Songtian there, and with the human form of the black dragon, and reaching out and touching, because the black dragon still has the scar on his neck of where the collar was placed on him, and Song Chang just putting his hand upon that, and then you see kind of this swirl. I mean, there's snow. It's snow. There's snow on the mountaintop. So we see a swirl of snow around them both. The spirit that was once connected to Song Tian, now connected to the dragon, connected to both of them, really, kind of encircling them both at that moment.
Nice.
We'll leave that there.
Heartless. You're muted.
I think you see Heartless, and she also is like, she's on the road too, and she's with the other dragon, and she's like, oh look, temple bells. She goes, I've seen pictures of them in the books, but I've never seen them in the wild. Look how many there are on the field. And she goes running off to like look at them, and you see the dragon kind of roll his eyes, you know. But then as she's going there, she hears, and she turns around and it's Ganfei again. And she's like, Ganfei, fancy beating here. She goes, did you see the temple bells? And she sort of drags him up the hill to these flowers, and she's like, we're going to draw these, you should write a song for them. And essentially you get the thing that she's just traveling around. She's probably still looking for the stones, but mostly she's just got a couple of new companions to go see the world with.
I love it. And Chao Lu.
Some indeterminate time in the future, we cut back to Mount Kuni, which is just a mountain that's been rife with monsters as long as anybody has ever known of it. And somewhere in this mountain there is a cave, and in this cave there's a mural. It's recursive. It's a mural of a woman painting a mural, and to the lower right side there is a painting of a little tiny baby fox, and it has the same little symbol on its forehead that Xiao Lu does, and it's making like the little playful animal pose. But up in the upper right corner now, there is this image of a black dragon. And in the upper left corner, there is a white dragon. And down somewhere near the bottom, there's an ink pot and a brush. There's some dice and gambling materials. There's a zither, and Chao Lu walks in, smiling. He has a basket of goodies, like a little, Red Riding Hood picnic basket, and he calls out, "Mother, I'm home, um, and I brought some food. You need to eat." I'm sorry to say, though, that the ice pops didn't make it. They never do. They never last. So I had to eat those myself. And we see a woman who looks very much like the woman in the mural come out. Since having her tail stolen, she's never been fully nihilistic, but more just sort of trapped in a melancholy and nostalgia. But when Chaolu reaches into the basket and produces her tail and hands it back to her, her eyes just line with water. And I think we fade to white.
Excellent. Thank you all. That's our series. That's our story, our arc. Less tragedy than some. I would like to do just a quick round of stars, things that you dug, things you want to give a shout out to. Da Ming.
Yeah, I mean, I guess stars all around. I really enjoyed this conclusion. A lot of great moments. I mean, I liked the sudden betrayal of Xiaoming. Lol. I liked and I liked the kind of the final confrontation. That everyone contributed to. I liked how everyone kind of worked to bring everything together. It was great.
I'm glad you were okay with the betrayal by your brethren there.
No, I loved it.
Good, good. Those are always challenging and a hard move, but it felt right, and I love your reaction to it. You're you're not wanting to accept that was going on for a bit there. It was a great beat. Song Tian.
Yeah, I had a great time. So many unexpected twists and turns. Thank you, Lowell, for putting those in, and I loved the twin dragons, and I really did like that betrayal for Dumming. That was awesome. And the way we managed to come together for the finale in a way, and I also really like the were-tiger angle, because I thought I wasn't going to actually ultimately use the curse move, but I guess I got to. And so that worked out great. And yeah, and I really enjoyed kind of the rapprochement between Heartless and I. After all the misunderstandings. That's why you have all the misunderstandings, so you can have a rapprochement. And then and Chao Lu, I really loved how you were weaving in together, clearly there were themes from the previous game that you were bringing to a conclusion, and I didn't know what all those were, but I could feel the kind of the closure and the weaving together of those, and it felt really cool. I love the mural at the end. That was great. So
I'm
yeah.
glad you liked the curse thing, because I wasn't sure until you activated it. I was like, oh, what do we do here? And then I remembered we had seeded the were-tiger throughout, and I was like, oh, I could give a payoff. So I was so glad that was and he really leaned into it. So I really appreciate that. Like, that was super fun the way you worked with it. Like, it's one of the things I so enjoy about running for you is that when you're given something, you take it and you do really interesting things with it. So really a delight.
It was great. It was fun. Thank you.
Sherry, Heartless.
I have to give you big props for the were-tiger too, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with Green Saber. And here's the thing is, her name is Heartless, and usually she's not. but when someone betrays like everything that you're supposed to stand for as a celestial, oh no, 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 no. So that was her being heartless in that moment, and that was a fun opportunity to have in that thing. This is probably the game where I got to use my moves the most in a lot of ways. It is striking. Sometimes you have moves that give you like opportunities in the game, and sometimes you have moves that like are actually tools.
Mhm.
And I ended up with a set of good tools in this, so that was sort of fun to do that. I loved all the characters. The twin dragons was great, and it was fun to how do you say, figure out how to integrate song, because clearly, you know, the black dragon was made by song, so it was just bringing all that together was a lot of fun to do. Xiao Lu is a great partner in crime in all ways, and I apologize if I what should we say, revealed the fox thing. You know, it was just that I needed the hair. I don't know. You know, I think, yeah, I like that a lot though, but great partner in crime. And Ming was like perfection in their not seeing what was going on. I mean, you held that to it exactly right. It was just so good all the way. And then when it all started to fall apart, you still were absolutely true to Da Ming. I mean, it was just so good. So that was good. It was a great play.
Awesome.
Good story.
And Xiao Lu.
God, yeah, so many amazing stars, so many cool moments this session, and a lot of them mentioned, but like, yeah, my first star was like the death of Master Iron, and that whole betrayal was just absolute, just stellar. And the whole arc with Da Ming, like I said last session, like the rest of us are trapped in these, you know, romance novels, and Da Ming's in the middle of a crime serial, and just like the payoff of that was so stellar. And Da Ming was a great character to just watch that all go through. Also, yeah, the Weird Tiger, just being this like parallel to Song Tian, because Song Tian like was just there but very understated, you know, playing music in the background, being very subtle about it. And you know, it's like every session it's like, oh yeah, don't forget there's a weird tiger in the hills. And then like all of that just came together in just a really cool parallelism, a really cool way. And yeah, the two dragons was amazing. It was great seeing the celestial playbook in style. It was really fun to watch Heartless Dandan you know, really break out some of these really cool moves. And yeah, gosh, I realize how much I love the unorthodox, the Inhuman Guys playbook.
Mhm.
It felt right, you know, this is the last session. If you're ever going to like, if the facade is ever going to crumble, it's got to be the last session.
Yeah.
So no, it totally felt right. And yeah, and yes, bringing back a lot of the through lines and the themes from the previous time I got to play Xiao Lu, just made the whole thing feel sweeping and grand and epic in just a really fantastic way. So yeah, stars to all of the things that the players probably are not, the other players are not really privy to, but Lowell and I, we get to have some fun with that. So but trust me, it was great. But no, truly, it was so fun playing with everybody here, and rolling with some amazing misses. The best
Mhm.
PBTA move miss ever on a miss you've played into their hands. Just so choice. Yeah. So that's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. This was an absolute pleasure across the board to run. I had a really good time. I'm so glad we did this series. And I hope to play with everybody again. Thanks so much. I'm going to stop the recording.